eating?
Yeah, go away.
What are you eating? Hey everybody, welcome to 54 Nights. We are in Mississippi at the first eastbound rest stop. There's like a Space Center museum type thing here too.
We've never gone in.
Exit number 2. Well, every time we show,
closed.
yeah, every time we're here, we're either on a day that they're closed or we're here at a time that they're closed.
And their dates are weird, like one of those, like, you know, Monday through, like, I don't know, Sunday through Thursday or something weird.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
And I know the AC is going and it's making a lot of background noise, but you know what? It's a little warm outside. We're heading over to Fort Pickens this morning. Hopefully going to get there with enough time and enough fair weather to jump in the salt water and play around.
I mean, we're going to make time, so there's that.
Yeah, there is that. It's 8:30 in the morning. We left Baton Rouge KOA around 7ish, probably a little bit before that. It says we're going to get to Fort Pickens at 11:30, which I'm going to try to make sure that doesn't happen because check-in's not until 1 o'clock. So we may take a little detour, maybe go down and cruise along the beach for a few miles. I don't know. I got to talk to the girl behind me, see whether she would enjoy that or not. Gulf Islands National Seashore. It's America's largest national seashore. Wow, say that like 20 times fast. It's composed of 13 unique areas spanning 2 states, over 160 miles from east to west. On the west end, you got Cat Island, and it stretches all the way east to the East Pass between Destin and the Channel Island there. This time we are heading into the Fort Pickens area. It is a national park service area, so if you have a National Parks Pass, America the Beautiful Pass, your senior military pass, whatever, you can get in here using that pass. Otherwise, there's a fee to get into the place. The fort itself is pretty awesome, but we're here to camp, and that white sand just makes the water look, well, it's called the Emerald Coast. I mean, that's so, and it is just beautiful, beautiful area. Check-in for the campgrounds, I believe, was up like 2 o'clock. We got there around 1, so we had to wait before we could go into the campground. It didn't sound like they cared if the campsite was empty or not. You're just gonna have to wait until 2 o'clock before you can go occupy it. So, and from what I have heard, now I haven't had any experience with this, but from what I've heard, the camp hosts, they seem to hire people that are very, very strict on the rules. Not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying that's a thing here. When you go to make a reservation for the campgrounds, if you look close enough, you'll see that there is a height limit on your rig. Now you can see there's a Class A, and we're driving a Class A, and technically we are over the height limit. I'm hesitant to actually bring this up, but I believe the height limit is like 12 foot. I'll flag something up here if it's any different, but there is a spot on this particular loop, Campground Loop A, where a tree limb, if you're not real careful, or if somebody's kind of taking up the right hand side a little bit too much and you're trying to squeeze around that, and it's on a turn, it can do some damage if you are not very careful. Now, we have been here before on a previous trip where I didn't see the height restriction when I made the reservation, and so I knew that we could get in and out, and obviously there's a couple other tall rigs in the campground on this trip, so they know that they can get in or out, but gotta be aware of it. If you're not real comfortable driving your rig yet, you might want to avoid at least Loop A. I can't remember if the other side loops are like this or not. That tree right there, the one with the little barriers down on the concrete or down on the asphalt, that is the one I'm talking about. That is really the only spot on this loop that you have to worry about overhead clearance. One of the other things I've heard, and they make it clear when you make the reservation, don't park on the grass, or do not park off of the asphalt. Apparently the camp host is told to strictly enforce this. They will say something about it. I've seen some YouTube videos of some angry campers because, you know, they were gotten onto for parking off the pavement, but they make it clear. As you know, a lot of time, I'm really with these national parks and any other campground for that matter, you follow the posted rules, you don't have a problem, or most of the time you're not going to have a problem. You are really within just a short walk of the beach, and probably some of the quietest beach areas along the Emerald Coast. St. Andrews over at Panama City Beach, it can be pretty quiet at that state park. It can also be pretty crowded. This beach area here at Fort Pickens, both times we've been there, it has been pretty quiet, and the water is just gorgeous. Oh my gosh. There are also some nature trails around this area, around the campgrounds. You can take your mountain bikes on some of them, or walk them. They just take you back over to the channel side of the island. Hey, I did look on the website. You know, a couple of weeks ago I was talking about how we're not allowed to make videos at national parks or federal lands, and this is a federal land. I did look on the website, and it appears that it's fine. At this particular place, Gulf Islands National Seashore. This Fort Pickens is part of that. We are at Fort Pickens Campground. This place, I tell you what, folks, we did a video on it a few years ago. We were here. It is a really neat place for all sorts of reasons. I mean, we got wildlife. I don't know if you can see this funky bird back here behind me, a heron or whatever it is. Ospreys all over the place, little sand looking mice. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're actually called like beach mice or something.
Really?
Like
they
that.
look like little bowls.
Yeah.
They're not very scary. Oh, and black armadillos. The armadillos look a little bit different at home.
Yeah. And back at home, they're a little bit lighter colored. This is not anything like that. I mean, never mind. So, and we've been riding our bikes around on the nature trail out here. There is, of course, the Fort Pickens part of it, the old military fort that is just kind of spread all over this little channel island here. It's really fascinating to go explore. And last time we were here, they did a little the flag ceremony at the end of the day, which is really cool. They fired off the cannons, which I haven't heard them go off this evening, so I'm guessing they may only do it on weekends right now up until, you know, a certain time. But it's great. We went swimming out on the Gulf side of the island. We're on the channel side right now, just kind of exploring. It's really...
We got tired of the Gulf side, so we decided to change the channel.
Okay, you see, I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time she does a dad joke like that, it's time for me to sign off. Yeah, we're leaving a must-do area this morning. Sorry, Fort Pickens, must-do. You got to do Fort Pickens. The campsites are, you walk into the beach from the campsite. You don't have to drive anywhere. And all the trails that you can walk on or ride your bicycle on, the fort itself, just all the history of the area. And you could spend a week there just...
Oh yeah.
I mean,
if you have non-camping family that goes with you, we've got, I mean, we're passing like houses and apartments for rent right now, so.
It's Pensacola Beach is where Fort Pickens is. It's a must-do. I got to put that at the top of the list. If you're a camper, you've got to come to Fort Pickens.
Would you put it above St. Andrews? More to do. Definitely more to do.
There is more to do at Fort Pickens than there is at St. Andrews.
As far as the beach itself, I would put St. Andrews top.
Probably.
Because it's got the swimming area.
Yeah. I don't know.
Try both of them.
Yeah, but I mean the beach itself at Fort Pickens, quiet. Not a whole lot of people there. I mean, both times we've been here, there's people out there on the beach. Just it's not crowded like you would get at like a Daytona or even St. Andrews or at Panama City beaches.
And this is early
Pretty
May,
busy.
by the way.
Anyway, we're heading out to the middle of Florida now, getting away from this icky salt water.
What?
Doing our last overnight before we get to Disney World, but this is the overnight where we get everything prepped and for, you know, the 2-week adventure of waking up early, going to bed late.
I saw a review of this place that said there was a lot of road noise and the sites were super incredibly narrow.
I don't know about the road noise.
And incredibly narrow?
Yeah, they're incredibly narrow. We've seen narrower. Hey, so anyway, we'll get back to that conversation in a second. Let's keep the timeline straight here.
I was talking to you, not them.
I know, but they're nosing in on it. You know how they are.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, so, 10-hour day. By design, we weren't 10 hours away from our destination, but we left Fort Pickens this morning and drug our feet about getting over here to this part of Florida. So we just wanted to cruise along the beach. This was one of our favorite drives.
We live in Oklahoma.
We did stop and eat lunch at Mexico Beach. That is.
No, that's not a restaurant, by the way.
That's a location. We just pulled up on the side of the road and had some lunch. Kind of a goodbye to the salt water. And now we are at Travelers Campground, just north of Gainesville, Florida.
The saltwater waved at us, by the way.
It did wave at us. We stayed here at Travelers last year on this
You got the TV
trip.
on.
I thought I turned that down.
Ask your doctor before taking products containing potassium. Corenia can also cause low blood pressure.
Okay, I'm back. I figured out what I did. I turned it down when the AC was running, and you couldn't hear it when it was down that low. Then I turned the AC off, and now you could hear it clearly.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, we stayed here last year.
A year ago today.
Ironically, just exactly 1 year ago.
Don't know how we did that.
By accident. But when we stayed here last year, we enjoyed it. It's a quick in and out type layout, and it's got beastuses here, which she enjoys. As a matter of fact, I really haven't seen her much in the 3 hours we've been here this evening.
They have emus and a cow and a horse and lots of donkeys and lots of goats and some cute silky chickens and some baby chickens and what am I missing? I said emus, right?
Parrots.
Parrots, yes, and macaws that are rescue birds. And it seems like I'm still missing something, but potbelly pigs, so that, I don't know. Lots of animals, and they're fun and they're cute.
And she enjoys it.
I do.
Obviously. I mean, I hadn't seen her in 3 hours. I had to make her
I don't
stop
think I
and
was
eat.
gone for 3 hours, was I?
Well, you did come back to eat, and then you disappeared again. I begged you to please come back before bedtime.
You did.
Yeah, we're a couple hours away from Disney World, our final destination. It's a good place for us to stop and get ready for, you know, the theme park blitz for the next 10 or 11 days. And it's a nice, it is a nice campground. You know, she was saying that there were some complaints on Google, would go figure, complaints on Google? I don't know. About sites being too tight or extremely tight. You know,
I think it's because it feels like a state park, so people expect. That's what I think. Because to me, it's a typical privately owned campground.
it is among the trees, and it appears that the long-term, the monthly sites
Separated.
are prettier sites, but I mean, come on, they're
No, a lot of them are on dirt and grass.
really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but the overnight area is just kind of lined all up in a straight line. There's like 6 rows of just a straight line where they fill them up sequentially as people show up, and it really is easy in, easy out type situation. They're all pulled through. We enjoyed it. Obviously, we come back here again this year. The location for us, you know, our destination being Disney World, and just convenience of it, right off I-75. Really, I haven't heard traffic noise that hadn't, even when I was outside messing with the Jeep or the, you know, draining the tanks or whatever, I didn't notice traffic noise.
Well, it's the office and the entrance is up.
Yeah.
So you're going downhill. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're in one of the residents up there. So I've been to a lot of campgrounds. I would complain about traffic noise, and this is not one of them.
Nope.
Not even close.
No. But it was a fun couple of days. Again, I have to say again, Fort Pickens, you just got to go. It's where you could easily stay at Fort Pickens a week and just chill, walk around, play in the water, check out the historic site.
This is a spoiler, but you can see guns that shoot 17 miles.
17 miles. A gun that shoots 17 miles. What is... You know, and we had said earlier something about St. Andrews Park and Fort Pickens. Both of them on the Emerald Coast. One of them, St. Andrews, is down by Panama City Beach. And really what we got down to off camera was the difference is St. Andrews feels more like a locals hangout. So it's a little bit more rowdy.
And a little dirty. It seems a little dirty. I wouldn't say it's dirty, but it's not like... It just seems like Fort Pickens is really, really clean. Maybe I should just say that.
Yeah. Yeah. But... Yeah, no, I gotta agree. But... The local... I mean, the Fort Pickens, it doesn't seem as rowdy. So... Anyway... I think we should probably get going because I'm pretty sure there's still daylight out and she'll want to go out there to, you know.
I'm going to stop for the night. I'll get up early in the morning.
Yep. We'll catch y'all down the trail.
See you later.